Today we're talking kitchen gadgets. Come on in and welcome to my home. Now, here's an interesting video I had not planned on making at all whatsoever. In fact, this actually started because I'm making another video which I'm not even going to make today, simply because I have to explain something. I was asked to talk about how I store my kitchen gadgets. Well, there's a problem. The big problem is I don't have a ton of kitchen gadgets. Now, some of you might be surprised to find out that I don't have very many kitchen gadgets. And let me explain to you why. One of the things which I can use as my perfect example is this, my rice cooker. I love to have sushi. Love sushi. I went through this whole phase where I made sushi all the time. Then I stopped making sushi. Yeah, it's true. I probably haven't made sushi now in probably 4 or 5 years, but I still have my rice cooker. Yes, this is a handy dandy rice cooker. Is it a good rice cooker? Yes, it is. Loved the rice cooker. It was great. It was wonderful. I have not used this now in 4 years. 4 years. Why do I still have it? I don't know. Because this sort of breaks my rule in what things you should keep and what things you shouldn't keep. It goes along with my apple corer. Yeah, you know those things where you press down on the apple and it slices it for you, it cores it and slices it. Every once in a while I'll buy one of those and then I'll end up selling it a year or two later because I never use it. Why do you say? Well, it's really simple. Because there are some items which I use all the time and some items that I don't, and I keep track of them. There are lots of kitchen items that we get which we think sound really great and really wonderful, but they don't really fit with the way we live or what kind of space we have. As you can tell from my kitchen is actually fairly small. And believe it or not, there are only 4 drawers in my entire kitchen. That's right, 4. Since I'm actually a fairly tall person, things that are in the lower part of the cabinets, that don't really work for me. Well, no, it doesn't. So, what do? I really look at what I have and what I need, and when it comes to kitchen gadgets, I am excessively careful on my kitchen gadgets. I am one of these people who I dug out my coffee grinder because I have a coffee grinder and I have an herb grinder. They're 2 separate things. Why do I have 2 separate things? I have found that you can taste the herbs that have been ground in the coffee grinder. It sort of has a coffee hint to it. But I use this a lot. Here's what I do when it comes to a kitchen gadget that I might already have. I think back to how many times have I used it. And if it's not that many, or if I haven't used it in several years, I try to figure out why. Why have I not used this in several years? Now, a lot of people go with roasting pans, you know, those big turkey roasters and everything. I have one of them, and I use it every so often when family comes over, but if they don't come over for a couple years, I won't use it. Now, should I get rid of that? No, because what happens is I'll keep rebuying it for when they do come over. A lot of you are saying, but you can get those aluminum foil ones. Yeah, I could. But I don't want to waste the money on something which I have, and I could store it if I can find a spot for it. Everything in my kitchen, there is a spot for everything, and it all has its place. There are not tons of gadgets because I don't have enough room for tons of gadgets. And then of the things that I do use, I think, do I actually use it? I have an air popcorn popper, and I was thinking about getting rid of it, but then again, I also thought about the fact that, yes, I do actually eat popcorn, so why would I get rid of this? I actually use it. You make sure that you are using the things that you actually have. If you are not using them, think about, have you bought this item before? My rice maker, I have bought 2 rice makers in my entire life. I will never use this, and I have never used this to cook rice at any other time except when I'm making sushi. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? So realistically, the rice maker can go. It is one of those great things. I mean, it really does. It works wonderfully, but I don't use it. So why would I keep something that I don't use? So before you actually go through your kitchen to decide what items that you're going to store and how you're going to store them, go through, look around, make sure that you're actually storing things that you really do use. Now, I am not counting on glassware, plates, and those sort of things because that's a whole nother issue. But if you have lots and lots of gadgets, knives, things like that, that you don't actually use, maybe it's time to let them go. A lot of people I know have tons and tons and tons of kitchen knives. Cool, if that works for you, I'm happy for you. I really only use like 4. So I really only have, I think I have 5 kitchen knives because I do use the bread knife, especially when I make things on my main show. But realistically, look at what you have before we get into this whole how we're going to store it. Get rid of those items you never ever use. Please, please get rid of those items that you never ever use. I have one of those lovely mandolin things where you slice the items, you know, and it's gotta go because 1, I don't use it that often, and 2, make sure that the items that you do have are not broken. Mine actually broke and I haven't gotten rid of it yet and I don't know why. So this week, before you do anything, go through all of your stuff. I'm going to give you probably like 2 weeks to do this. Go through all of your stuff, make sure that all of the stuff that you have in your kitchen, all of your gadgets, are gadgets you actually use, not things that you think you might use or things that you might possibly use. Make sure that they're things that you really do use. If you do that, let me know down in the comments. And also, you can get a hold of me on most social media at cmcolemanhome. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You can share it. Don't forget to subscribe and check out the other videos on this channel. I love making these videos for you, and I hope I get to see you again next time.